Starbase, Texas.
Yep.
We're rolling on the very first episode of the Interstellar Gateway podcast.
The intro to us.
Untitled podcast yet to be named.
Yep.
We're going to see how this goes. A little trial run action.
Oh. For anybody who's wondering, this is really just going to be us just talking. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Just getting to know you guys, and y'all getting to know us, and why we're here, where we came from, all of the above. But yeah, what is our first topic for today?
I think we're just going to do a little introduction to these guys.
Okay.
Who maybe haven't talked to us before, or
Yep.
haven't seen any of our things on social media, and kind of just introduce ourselves.
So my name is Joey Leal. I am a DC resident right now. I'm from Corpus, here in Texas. I'm a business owner of multiple trades, but space has been my passion since I was a young kid, and I felt like it was time for me to sink my teeth into something that I was passionate about and that I really loved. And I sort of took a shot at this, At first, it was supposed to just be a hobby, just a simple TikTok thing, nothing major. And then once I started getting into it with Flight 3, I figured out, this is kind of something I actually want to do, But other than that, I'm just a regular guy, just trying to have fun. No investors behind us, no nothing. It's just it's a bunch of dudes having fun, and that's it. Yeah, just having fun. That's it.
That's been my experience with the team thus far. It's just a really nice, close-knit group of personable people, and we're all just kind of hanging out like we're boys. We got Kay, our they Demothy at them University, studying demology.
Shout out to Kay, by the way. Kay could not be here this flight, but
Kay, we love you,
Kay.
Love Kay.
Yep, we love you, Kay.
Man, look at all these trucks.
Look
at all these log trucks.
No, it's getting crazy.
That's
out here.
crazy.
They're refueling everything, and it's been getting pretty wild out here.
It's been a hectic day. Y'all are here on Ground Zero. This is our very first attempt at this.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah.
Like 500 feet away from this thing.
Very last minute as well. We felt like this is something we should probably do, just because we don't really want any mystique behind us. Want everybody to know we're just regular dudes.
Yeah, want you guys to get to know us.
Yeah, on a mission.
That being said, I'll give a little introduction to myself. My name is Brandon Wynn. Currently living out of Tampa, Florida, just a couple of hours outside of the Space Coast. Space Coast, best coast, by the way, for all you West Coasters. I have been doing photography / videography. I'm a hybrid shooter now by trade. I started with photography about 7 or 8 years ago, just out of high school. Was always kind of interested in it as a hobby as a kid growing up, and then here I am chasing my dreams, pursuing my passion, doing something I think I'm pretty good at, and have specifically been doing aerospace content on and off for about the past 7 years. Have been a credentialed member of the media with NASA and SpaceX and United Launch Alliance. I've done well over 100 missions over in Cape Canaveral, as well as a couple of missions across the United States, like in Wallops Island, Virginia, with the Antares rocket. And now I get to add Starbase, Texas to that list of places that I've traveled for aerospace.
That's awesome.
You and Kay I've known for a few years, actually through doing some of the credentialed media stuff with NASA. That's how Kay and I met, and Kay and I became really good friends. Stayed in contact over the years, stayed close, bounced ideas off of each other, always just kind of like we're those two people that we'd go to advice for, or, with each other over stuff. And Kay had started whispering to me about this company that she was working for, covering Starship out in Texas, a little over a year ago. And I was like, man, that sounds pretty sick. That's a pretty good gig. You got hooked up. And this is around the time that I had kind of made a brief departure away from media, so was really missing the game. And
what were you doing during that hiatus?
A lot of freelance photography, videography. That's where my hybrid shooting really started to come in. Is just freelancing my butt off in Tampa, Florida, doing all sorts of commercial work
Gotcha.
and branding with social media influencers, things of that nature.
Gotcha.
Stuff that's cool, stuff that I like doing, but not stuff like this,
Yeah.
where my true like passion lies.
Yeah.
And then just through like a really coincidental, like, cards being in the right place in the right time, not being really happy with what I was doing freelancing, series of circumstances, you and Kay first reached out to me back in June, like just after Flight 4.
Yes.
And started to float around the idea of becoming a member of Team Interstellar Gateway
Yep.
and making content with you guys,
Yep.
coming out here and getting to do stuff like this. And obviously getting to do what I love excited me.
Yep.
And immediately had me locked into something I yes,
Understood.
that's something I want to do.
Understood.
But I think a new passion was just kind of reignited when I started to hear Kay talk about what the ambitions of Interstellar Gateway were and the direction that our team was heading.
Yep.
What your goals for the company were.
Yeah.
And just talking about this team.
Say that again? Yeah. Tomorrow, Tuesday. Yep.
Like I said, guys, you're live.
Yeah,
You're
you're
seeing
live.
this for real.
Yeah, you're gonna see all the rawness of this.
But no, I think Kay talking about Interstellar Gateway, talking about you, and talking about what you guys have been doing,
Yep.
it ignited like a whole new passion in terms of Interstellar Gateway doing something that isn't being done anywhere else
Yep.
on this platform, on this market, and really bringing something new to a whole new audience. And
Yep.
just like educating and truly inspiring like a new generation.
It's all about
like,
inspiring, man. I was not a full rocket nerd. I understand how intimidating space can be. You know, you hear people talk about it and they go through all the bells and whistles, and not everybody wants to learn that. Some people just want to see stuff blast off or blow up, as seen from, when they were doing hops. I remember when I decided that I wanted to actually make this a full company. It was during Flight 4 when we were out here planting cameras everywhere, and we were on the brink of like death. Like it was bad. It was a really, really, really rough day, rough weekend. It was successful. It got our first, actual viewership. People were excited and actually recognizing us. So when we were leaving, I told Kay, I was like, we gotta hire somebody else. And then, we got in contact with you, started seeing your works, and I was like, this is a match made in heaven here. Like, this is perfect. You're covering stuff at KSC, and then, when it's time to hit boots on the ground here, that's what we do. It moved really fast. Things moved crazy fast. We've hired a lot of people over just since Flight 4 in general. Hired a ton of people. I'm excited.
Shout out to our team behind the scenes.
Shout out to them.
Emlyn,
Yes.
TSE.
Yes, Daniel, all of you guys. Emlyn is our live production guy, and this guy is a wizard. I don't know how I've been so lucky to have him on the team, but it's just been, these guys are awesome. We have some crazy adventures and experiences for y'all to see down the line. Also, shout out to Eisen Ramos, our 3D chief. Dude, we got some stuff coming.
We really do.
It's wild.
We really honestly couldn't get through all of this production and all these crazy adventures and try and even attempt to put some of these things together that we do without them.
Absolutely.
I mean, even over these past couple of days with some of the plans that we have for Flight 6. We'll get into that in a little while.
Yep.
But we've had some problems that have needed solutions that wouldn't have been possible without some of these guys.
Yeah,
so.
no, these guys are really good at solving problems, which I can't say I've had for every business that I've owned. Not everybody can think for themselves or think outside the box, but I hand an issue off to these guys and it's taken care of. It's a done deal. But yeah, no, this is great.
I think just kind of like touching on a subject that you were talking about, with you guys being out here in Flight 4, and you kind of mentally really making that decision that you wanted to turn this into a full-blown company with a structured team and bringing in new members. that was one of the very first conversations or pieces of conversation that Kay and I had about me coming on board.
Yeah.
Was Kay kind of looking at me and going, this is going to be hard, grueling, tough work.
Yes.
And it is only going to get worse
Yep.
the longer that it goes.
Yep.
And I think for a lot of people in a let's call it a job interview, let's call it a career pitch.
Yep.
That would be a little bit of a turnoff.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
if you've ever met me, if you guys know me personally, which hopefully you guys specifically will, but any of my friends, I think Joey's kind of starting to get a little bit of an understanding of this. I'm a little bit of a psychopath.
Yeah. And so is Kay. Kay is a daredevil. Kay loves to do, whatever's hard, whether it's exploring vacant mines or freaking Chernobyl or whatever it is. That's what this place is really built for, is people who are ready to put all the work in and not see the results come for a while.
100%.
It's not easy out here.
I'd say you got to be a little crazy to want to do some stuff like this. And me, UK specifically, we're different flavors of crazy, but I cannot function without hard work, man.
No,
I can't
I agree.
function without it. I can't be bored and dissatisfied with what I'm doing.
Agreed.
So those initial conversations of this is going to be hard work, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. And this is short-term sacrifices for long-term gain and inspiration and education for our audience. That 100% locked me in and got me ready to go, and that's what keeps me driven out here, brother. Is I am chasing that hard work.
I mean, I had no question in bringing you on board, which is why when I first got the call from you, it's it's a done deal. I don't think about it or anything because I trusted Kay, and then I saw the work. It's all about if everybody's on the same creative direction, which everybody on this team is. We've had to sort of mold and grow and learn that it's not about speed for us. Granted, there are some things such as flight footage. We're streamlining that, get that out faster. But in terms of animations or BTS footage and stuff like that, perfection is key, and that's all I want. If it's not perfect, I'd rather just not release it, not do it. So that's the whole goal here.
I think something that we really hit on yesterday, just kind of when we were BSing back in the house, is coincidentally enough, our, call it a business model, our strategy, our approach to all of this is kind of similar to what SpaceX has been over the years, where failure is absolutely an option.
Absolutely.
And learning and growing from every experience that we're out here, iterating and evolving. That's the goal. That's how we strive for that perfection.
Absolutely.
That we want to put out for all of you guys.
We've taken more of a cinematic hillbilly type approach to this. Starting with Flight 3, we tested a couple of cameras in the flats. Failed, after that, and it was really early. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, this sucks. We had a 1600 millimeter lens from Port Isabel. It didn't work because it was just too foggy. And after all the money, you're like, dang, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. Flight 4, we basically said, let's get a bunch of cameras, and if they get destroyed, whatever. And it ended up being a great model for us. We don't care if we lose equipment, if the footage is going to inspire people. And also, we're going to grow as our audience grows with us. We'll destroy even more expensive things, if it gets the footage for the people, what they want. We've had a lot of failures with CGI, with, what are they called? Practical effects. Practical effects we ran through a lot of money with that. Just all kinds of stuff. A lot of equipment for live streaming didn't work out. It's just trial and error. This is a very, very unexplored area. There are a few companies out here that have it down, but it's not, this stuff isn't fully known on this.
There's not a science, there's not a handbook.
There's no one way to do this. This area is just so remote and odd, which it won't always be, but for the time being, it's something we'll have to work with, But yeah, no, us being, you know, the hillbillies, and when I say that, we are always looking to work within the rules.
We've kind of moved in a different direction where
Yep.
we've had GoPros out and around the pad, in
Yep.
different locations around
Yep.
SpaceX's production site and launch facility. That being said, we pulled something crazy off of Flight 5 with those GoPros, and having them manage to work and catch the catch,
Yeah.
and just absolutely see something that no one ever thought they'd really
Yes.
truly see, especially on the first attempt.
Yep.
That absolutely, I think, blew our minds. But what are we going to start to do now with Flight 6 that's a little bit different than what we've ever done before?
So Flight 5, our main goal was to make sure that we got data on locations of cameras, angles, what's good, what's not, what people like, what they don't like. We had a mishap with all of the cameras, really, with polarizers, due to the quick announcement of launch, which was pretty crazy, but you know, it's not out of the realm of things. We couldn't adjust everything. We didn't account for having a polarizer. We didn't dial it in, so a lot of it came in grainy. Granted, the footage was nuts, looked really cool, but it wasn't up to my liking for things. So this time around, we still have polarizers on everything. Everything's dialed. We have decreased the amount of GoPros that we have. We're sort of transitioning away from that. We're now going to 8K cameras, and also we're going to actual full body cameras. So R5 Mark IIs, cameras of the sorts. Our PTZs, we had some issues with connectivity wise. It's undetermined as to what happened, why it happened. We'll know from this flight though, which again, you throw it out there, see what happens, go from there. But we had one cut off, you know, shortly after. We set it down. That's already fixed. We fixed that issue. We're going to put them in different areas. We'll see what happens here. But we're going to have wide out shots. We're going to have shots from the air. I mean, this is going to be pretty nuts. And again, we're going to keep transitioning away from GoPros. The dunes don't seem to be any more of a focus to us anymore. In terms of what we plan to do in the future, long-term goals will be any camera that we run will be IMAX certified. Definitely long-term, mid next year, at the least. Further on, you know, black magic, red, all the sorts, and of course, likely commercial drones, all sorts of things. But I think, and then of course tracking shots. You gotta have your tracking. We'll definitely start programming trackers to help assist us with those. But for this flight, we're gonna have a few tracks. We'll see how they go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would definitely say we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again,
Yeah.
you try it, throw it at the wall, and see what happens.
This has been a challenging couple of days. Flight 5 was its own challenge because we had 2 weeks notice to get out here, get everything ready.
We were hearing December, and before you know it, it was, yes, this is happening. So we scrambled to gather probably $20,000 worth of equipment. Hurry up, get it shipped in, get the accessories, and very little practice. So this is going to be very fun.
This flight has certainly had its list of challenges. It's
Yes.
going to have its list of challenges as we go into to camera setup tomorrow and an actual launch day and
Yes.
some of the tracking things that we have planned, I think.
Yeah.
But I think if we're even able to pull off 1 or 2 or 3 or however many more
Yes.
of these things that we have planned,
Absolutely.
it's going to be really incredible, and
It's going to be fun.
something that the audience hasn't really quite seen yet from any Starship launch or
Yeah.
launch content.
Yeah, it's definitely, all of it's going to be different.
Hey guys.
Hi, how are you doing? It's all going to be different. And again, we're not claiming to be the best or anything like that, but we want to be different. That's the whole goal. And of course, fully cinematic. That's the end goal here. But if it's, we've put this out on many platforms. If you think it's like crazy, like we've either thought about doing it or we've done it. There's a ton of crazy stuff that we've done that will either never, or I won't say never, it'll be a while before it's seen or until it's complete. We have a lot of projects ongoing and really excited about those. Those are going to be awesome.
When he says if it's the craziest thing you thought about, we thought about it, that's not a hyperbole.
Oh yeah.
Anything that you could possibly think would push the boundaries of what could be created around aerospace and rocket launches and what SpaceX is doing out here with the Starship program.
Yes.
We literally have had conversations about making it happen or actively in the process of making it happen.
There are a few Discord chats where it's filled with, okay, hear me out. Yeah. And then somebody spills it, or like, let's table it, or hold on, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. You know, it's pretty crazy, but we've learned after the first 3, you know, activities, we're like, okay, I don't think anything is out of the realm anymore. As long as the fans want it at the end of the day. Yeah. As far as our team and future plans for how I plan for this whole thing to turn out, plan on hiring as many people as possible. Right now we have, I would say, 13 people that work for us. We don't really do volunteers. Would do interns sometime in the future. But you know, we plan on to keep expanding. Every avenue of this company could use a lot more labor, like a lot. I mean, there's programming, there's videographers, photographers, cinematographers, 3D artists, visual effects artists. It's just endless. So as our community keeps growing, as you know, we start selling merchandise and stuff like that, all the money is going to continuously go back into the company. I don't plan on taking profit out of this place for a long time. I want this thing to grow. I want to be able to not have to come out here myself I want to be able to come out here and watch a launch. Yeah. And not know that I have to go and walk in the dunes and stuff. Because it's crazy. But
I'll do that stuff every time.
Oh, you and Kay have both said it. Like, y'all want to do that. I'm like, ugh. I'm back is not what it used to be when I was, you know, just 10 years ago. But we're going to keep growing, and the equipment list is going to keep growing. Eventually we'll have an HQ here. We already have somebody on site for us 24/7, Sean. Great. You know, he's been doing great for the dailies.
Shout out Sean.
Yeah, shout out Sean. Life at Stage 0. And shout out Marcus House, by the way. Marcus House has been really, really good to us. Marcus gave us those few pushes on our initial releases that really helped, and I'll forever be grateful for him for that. That was really awesome. And shout out all the other creators. Y'all are all really good. CSI, Starbase, NSF, all of y'all. Y'all are all great. Cosmic, Tim, everybody. This whole community is awesome.
Yeah. Just kind of addressing the elephant in the room here, you know. I'll say this as someone who was kind of inundated in the media culture around Starship and SpaceX. Like, Interstellar Gateway always didn't have the greatest rep, getting started. I think that's part of the nature of being new and trying to establish yourself as something a little bit different.
Absolutely.
You know, I think it's going to take some getting used to for people to realize that we're not just some blog or you know, wannabe social media influencers. We really truly are passionate about this, and think that we have an approach to help educate and inspire the same audience that a lot of these other teams are going for.
Absolutely.
And me being friends with a lot of the again, awesome, fantastic human beings that are in some of these other organizations that come out here and put in the hard work alongside us. We've got nothing but love for you guys. And you know, we will always support
anybody.
Everyone in the community.
Absolutely. I will work with anybody. Like, anybody wants to partner up on something, you know, anything. I'll always work with anybody. I 100% get why some people are, you know, they get wary, especially our first mission that we did. People were wary, and people got a little nervous, and But we're here to play within the rules. We're not looking to. This community is growing fast. Yeah. So while Brandon is getting a camera squared away, or 2 cameras squared away, something I'd like to touch on is I really want this whole thing to be very community oriented. We want to involve you as much as possible. I mean, we've had the community vote on naming cameras, naming drones, naming all kinds of stuff. In terms of giveaways, we want to give away any of our cashed out equipment. I know we're already doing a giveaway for 3 more. It's a cool thing, not everybody can make it out here to experience this, and to be able to have something that was just destroyed by 33 Raptor engines is just freaking cool. I would want it, and I think about it from the perspective of the audience, or how I would have felt about it, a few years ago before I entered this scene. I'm not looking to make a killing out here. I want the community to enjoy us, and I'm also not looking to be a face just for anybody's knowledge. The main reason for me being out here and putting a face is really to just show y'all that, explain who we are. We're just humans. We're just dudes out here doing work, and we're not some conglomerate looking to just pull money from everybody. This is a fun thing. This is really fun. This is gonna be an awesome ride. It's gonna be a hard ride. It's gonna be fun, and I think you as the community will enjoy what we put out. Feedback is always something that we love getting from the community. Feedback, I mean, even if it's negative, it's something that we want. Quality control is vital. That one's blinking again.
Yeah, I think it's gonna keep blinking
until it charges.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, okay. Let's see.
So basically, what Joey's trying to elaborate on, I think, is that we're just guys, being dudes. We're nerds, just like the rest of you. We get sweaty over this stuff. We get foamy at the mouth whenever any new announcements drop. Whenever launch schedules drop.
And stressed.
Definitely.
Stress
and
it's definitely exciting.
Yeah.
It's definitely an exciting thing. We just know there's about to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Well, you know what? We're out here being a part of history, and it's pretty cool. I think, you know what? Something that kind of blew my mind the other day too. You were just talking about like the giveaways and the GoPros and stuff like that. The interaction that we have over our giveaways and GoPros for literal pieces of for me, having been in this kind of environment for so long, and now being here, boots on the ground, one of the content creators and producers behind this whole thing. To me, it's a hunk of junk, piece of plastic, little teeny tiny box, not worth anything. But to you guys, who don't get to experience this in the same way,
it's crazy.
They're like, I cannot wait to have a piece of history.
Yeah. Because we, for instance, I have a box full of GoPros that all have cracks in them and stuff, which will all get refurbished, or parts and stuff like that. But it kind of passes you where you're like, dang, that's really cool. The community really likes giveaways like that, and I get it. I mean, I was somebody who bought a tile way back when, and I even gave that away. We found some hardware out here. It's cool stuff, but I'll tell you when it really hits is when you're watching TV, you're watching CNN or something like that, or on YouTube, and you see that these events are being reviewed or reacted to all over the world.
All over the world.
Catch was reviewed by people remote tribes, and it's so awesome to know we're at the front line.
We're at the pinnacle.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And not only are we here, not only are we boots on the ground, but the fact that we are playing, even if it's a small, insignificant role, playing a role in the documentation and the education of this, really does create a sense of purpose for what it is that we're doing.
Public interest for Starship is vital. I mean, we're seeing what's happening with Artemis. It's losing public interest. It has for a while. It's over budget. And once something like that loses that, it's downhill. You know, this is, even though this is a private venture, this is government funded also. It's important. more chasing away people.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so check out this. Okay, let's see what we got.
How are we looking? How are we feeling, Joey?
Feeling
good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
How do you think this is going so far?
It's definitely had its issues for this flight.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of things to solve. We've solved them.
Not even Flight 6. How do you think this pod is going, brother?
It's going pretty good. You know, we're getting some things going.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in front of the cameras and on the mic than I thought I would.
Well, I came from TikTok, which was where my initial following was. Yeah, it wasn't space related at first. It was just me as a personality. So I've always been a little more, you know, chillaxed.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a little while, but no, it takes some getting used to. You know.
I think what was important too was that the way that we structured this is just basically like we're letting the audience in on our behind the scenes conversations. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
We kind of had to introduce ourselves a little bit, talk about a little bit about what we're doing, but
yeah.
I think these guys kind of getting to see who and how we are.
Yes.
And get that personal sense of what it's like to be here and be with our crew, be with our team. I think that's important.
Yeah.
You know? So
no, absolutely.
It's pretty cool. I dig it.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to. Some people like to be very, you know, mysterious about operations, and I 100% get it because we've been, you know, secretive over a lot of things.
We've been people.
Yeah, we've been them. But I also want that stuff's cool to see. I mean, before I started any behind the scenes footage I could see, I wanted to see. It's cool. You know, you see the end result, but seeing what goes into it is also pretty fun. So, you know, even if it takes a little longer for people to see, or even if it's a little chopped, you know, to keep, you know, some of our ops behind closed doors, you know, that's how it'll go. But we're trying to share everything we can, which is where our season comes in of Interstellar Gateway, the Starship series. Go ahead.
So, for anyone who might not know, what can they look forward to when the season starts?
So, the Interstellar Gateway series that we've been working on for now a year, initially was going to be more so like explainers, CG explainers, and some behind the scenes. Now it will be following us in our journey through these launches, through the work that we're doing. And also, it has a fully cinematic studio-grade CG portion of the Starship series. So, all the animations you'll see have taken months and months to even make, and even longer to render. We're using render farms. We're paying tens of thousands of dollars to render this stuff. It's all studio-grade. You know, we don't spare a detail. Shout out again to Eisen Ramos. He made the full Raptor 2 model that everybody saw that was featured on Tim's channel. He doesn't skip on detail. You know, we came to an agreement early on. If it wasn't perfect, we weren't doing it, or we were going to keep going until we were done. So, as of right now, the last piece of footage that needs to render is currently rendering back at home with 5 4090s. And that is scheduled to finish in 4 weeks, which is awesome. We had a hiccup. We've had several hiccups where, you know, we render out for a few weeks. All right, time to put it into comp, and we find an issue. So, you know, we're working it out. These files are huge. They're really, really bulky. Computers are just struggling. You know, we got thread rippers on these things also, and it's tough. So, But I can't wait to release that. That's gonna be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really
No, that's
good.
gonna be nuts.
I've seen cuts, I've seen pieces. Obviously, I've been here for the past two missions now, and know what our behind the scenes look like, and know the kind of equipment that we're using.
Yeah.
And know kind of. I'm seeing the puzzle pieces starting to fall in place to make this thing a reality, and I think our audience is really gonna enjoy it.
I think I really do. Like I've never been more certain about something. This is gonna be cool.
And I wouldn't be shocked in the near future. And I mentioned this to you and Kay last time.
Yeah.
When we were here, when I first got this job, and like you and I had our first conversation, and Kay and I had already had a couple of conversations about things. The way that I kind of, in layman's terms, broke this down for people in terms of where this is going, was like my friends and family who had seen the Blue Angels IMAX documentary.
Yeah.
I'm like, think that, but rockets.
No.
And I could very easily see us moving in that sort of direction.
Yeah.
Not only with these seasons, but with what we start to produce after these seasons.
Yes.
And like you were talking about getting IMAX certified cameras in the next year. Like that stuff's gonna be really cool for people to see.
And also film. We want to move into film at some point.
Speaking my language.
Film was supposed to be introduced for this flight, but again, we were thinking that this was going to be in December. Film is something that we will be moving to.
Dude, I told you yesterday, like over text, I could hear your panic when they confirmed November 8th.
Everybody could.
Like I could physically hear like the deep mumbled breathing that Joey was having in Washington DC over text.
When I post the donkey looking straight ahead,
donkey from Shrek. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When a launch gets announced, that's like serious. Like I'm literally like, I'm just mad. Yeah, I'm like, no, really, like for real. I mean, if a schedule was kept, I would absolutely just be. But this thing's just moving so fast, so you can't blame them.
I don't think I've ever had a human being text me FML so many times within a 1 week time period, brother. That was crazy.
No, I mean, like I said, Discord also, like, it's just panic or stress, just, like, why is this happening? But we pull it together. It's definitely a stressful process, but in my opinion, these things will get easier, especially as we keep proving our systems. We have a lot of young systems right now that need to be broken in a little bit, and they will. I'm sure that.
Patreon, YouTube, merch shop. We want to hear what you guys want. Yep. Joey's willing to get a little uncomfortable. Joey's willing to do some things on camera that I think are unspeakable. Maybe not that one. But we do want to give back to you guys, because even just the support that we get from you guys on X. The comments that you guys leave us, the way that you engage with our videos on YouTube, like,
beneficial.
Even as it is right now, like, say what you will about social media and like human interaction on the internet, but it is really cool to know that you guys are watching and enjoying what we're doing for you and the hard work that we're putting in, and we want to help you guys feel that too.
We have some loyal followers.
Like, yeah.
We got some people that are really stick around. Really awesome people. Some even creators that really genuinely enjoy our stuff. We want to give back whatever we can. It's just awesome. Even the views benefit us, of course, when it comes to monetization and stuff. But it's not always enough to get us to where we want to go. Like I said, every bit of money that comes here, it's going to end up out here, or at KSC. It's just gonna grow. It's gonna make this thing awesome, and included in certain tiers of memberships. Well, depending on what you do, you'll get your name on the end of a video, or get you a nice title card, whatever it is. Or we'll name you. We'll name one of our cameras after you. Yeah. That's one thing. It's fun stuff like that.
Just little fun stuff.
Yeah.
Get you excited.
Absolutely.
Do we want to go ahead and drop the subscription tier names? I know we've got them lined up for Patreon.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let me go ahead and pull these up. That way I'm not misquoting myself here. Just a little teaser for you guys if you want to go ahead and head over to our Patreon. Let's go ahead and drop those names. Give you guys a little teaser. Yeah, so tier 1, our most basic tier, is going to be stage 0, named after Mechazilla itself.
Yep.
Right behind us here.
Yep.
The structure behind the launch.
Yep.
From stage 0, our next tier is going to be super heavy. I think you guys can kind of tell where this might be going.
Yep.
Little on the nose nomenclature here, but
Yeah.
I think it works. I think it gets the job done. So super heavy is going to be our second tier. Those will be some good benefits.
Yep.
Up from there, the ship itself, Starship.
Absolutely.
And then I think beyond that, we're gonna have a higher paid tier.
Yes.
Almost like we described it with amongst ourselves as a sponsored tier.
Yeah.
Almost.
We'll have a few sponsored tiers.
That's gonna be our Mars colony tier. Those are gonna be our guys that get us to occupy Mars.
Yeah. So those guys are, every dollar counts. But if you really want to, make an impact, build our equipment catalog, or even get your company, your brand, or your name out there, whatever it is, we'll slap you up. We'll slap a big picture of you up on a launch video, and we have a website coming pretty soon that's getting finished up, so you'll also get a link to whatever you want there. So yeah, it's gonna have some cool stuff involved.
That. All right. Well, we are losing daylight. Things are gonna start happening here in the next hour or two. Where are we at time-wise with the pod? Yeah, we're at about 45 minutes, my brother.
All right. I guess I can close out with one note.
Okay.
I would like to say that Ryan and Mary Liz at Cosmic Perspective took me, in when I first inquired about getting into this and what I wanted to do. So I supported them through Patreon, stuff like that. Followed them. I had for years. But when I flew down, they met with us and showed us all the cool stuff that was going on, and they would assist with like launch dates and stuff like that. And I'll always be grateful for that. They are 100% the inspiration behind me and what I'm doing here. And again, will never compare to them and the quality that they go for. It's just insane. Their work is amazing.
It's really nuts.
Tim and Cosmic stuff is just off the charts nuts, and I couldn't be happier.
Not that we're trying to like glaze or anything.
No,
that is just the fact of the
it's
matter.
like that. Like it's something I strive for. But of course we're doing different things. But I just wanted to say, that they are my inspiration. Check them out. Tim, Cosmic Perspective, they are awesome.
Tim was that guy.
Yeah.
That I was watching in high school.
Me too.
That was, getting me prepped for that first Falcon Heavy mission.
That had the astronaut suit.
I drove over. Falcon Heavy was the first ever rocket launch. Falcon Heavy Mission 1 with the Tesla Roadster was the first ever rocket launch that I photographed.
Oh.
That's a fact. And Tim was getting me hyped up for that stuff. And about a year after Falcon Heavy 1 was when I first started getting into credentialed media.
Yep.
And doing photography out there in Cape Canaveral.
Yep.
And that was before any of this. That was before Starbase Texas was even a thought.
Yep.
And that was when Ryan and Mary Liz were still in Cape Canaveral, and those were two extremely kind, extremely influential,
nice,
extremely just fantastic human beings
really
that
nice.
Helped out an 18-year-old kid.
Yep.
Who felt lost in a new environment with a whole new group of people.
Shout out to them and their new baby girl, by the way.
Yes. I can't believe
Beautiful.
they have a kid.
I know.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
Like, you see those memes, like, I'm 24, I'm a little bit of a young buck.
Yep.
But like, you see those memes of like, damn, everyone from high school is getting married and having kids.
Yeah.
I'm out here
I
shooting
think the
pictures
same
of
thing.
Starship,
I'm like, dang, what am I doing, man?
I'm just out here making movies about the world's most powerful rocket.
Oh man, no, it's awesome. Really happy for them, and they just two of the kindest people. Shout out to Andrew too, their tech guy, really great guy. So, but yeah,
really shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
No,
No, everybody out here at Starbase has been nothing but kind to us. It's been really welcoming, and again, of course, there's the anxiety that comes with somebody new coming in, but we want to work with everybody. So, but yeah, this has been awesome.
This has been a learning experience. We'll see if any of this even worked out. I know my mic was peaking a lot.
We might have to do a little bit of work to this, but yeah, we're gonna get back to work. We still got a lot of prep to do, and you know, next time y'all will hear from us will likely be when we're picking up equipment.
Yeah.
And shooting out stuff. So, but I appreciate everybody for tuning in, listening to us. If you like this type of video, let us know.
If you want to see more of the podcast and more of the behind the scenes stuff, definitely let us know, because this has been fun. I think we'd be willing to do more stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, initially this is just for us to, you know, introduce ourselves and really just, you know, make everybody known who we are, what's happening. But, you know, if this is something that is enjoyed, you know, we would 100% be down for that. So let us know.
If you want to hear us just BS for an hour, like we'll just sit here and BS with you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks.